practicing together, I want you to let the movements be guided by your own breath. You can see Nisha here. This is my doggy in the shot there. That's cute. All right, so connecting in. And the idea of this is this inhale and exhale that happens from the belly. And as you move, you can't, like to an outside observer, they wouldn't be able to tell whether it's the breath creating the movement or the movement creating the breath. There's this perfect, seamless union. So we can then, with your next inhale, stretch the right leg back behind you and the chest forward, broadening the collarbones. And as you exhale, knee into the chest and rounding. Inhale, extending back. And you'll find that end point at both sides, so the knee into the chest as well as the extending back. So then adding in the arms, so we go left arm, contralateral, and then go left elbow to right knee and rounding. Inhale, that expansion, and you'll find that end point. But remember what I said, it's this following the journey. So it's not just the knee touching or the full extension. You're looking for this awareness of the entire journey. Okay, let's place the left hand down and step the right foot forward so both hands are on the inside here. And again, let's find this opening. So inhale to open, even broadening across the collarbones. And as you exhale, rocking back, you're not straightening the leg, just rocking back. And the focus is more on the spine. So inhale. And yes, there's the turning points, but you're looking for this awareness of the entire journey. The highs, the lows, yes, but the lessons and learnings that you can take from each end and bring into the transition. So skillful transitions. All right, so from here, let us then lift the back knee, recoil and step forward. So taking chair pose, just with feet hip width apart and working with your breath. Inhale to sweep the arms up and exhaling, sweeping the arms back like a winged warrior shape. Inhale to sweep up and exhaling. Add in a little bit of spine movement here if you can. So inhale, even arching through the back a little like a baby back bend, and exhale, brush the elbows along the side waist and hollow out through the belly. Inhale to open, the pelvis will move, the spine will move, and last one, exhaling. Inhale to straighten the legs, stretch all the way up, and exhale to fold yourself forward and down. Lift halfway up as you inhale, and stepping both legs back and into downward facing dog. So we'll flow with the breath again. This will be our inhale shape. And as you exhale, round and come forward like the plank. And bend the knees, exhaling, rippling the spine back. And then exhale to round forward. Inhale to send the hips back. So this smooth, rippling movement. And then dropping the knees to the earth, sitting back onto the heels. And let's connect into this spanda again. So like you could think of it like spandex. Inhale to open, opening the arms. And exhaling, hands to navel and coiling in. So there's the movement of the spine, but equally this movement of, you know, the expansion of summer that, you know, everyone's just out and about and lapping up the sunshine and longer days. And then in winter, there's this turning inside that naturally happens. And as we turn inside or go inside, then there's this natural periods of reflection. So the spanda, the pulse, this is important to know right now as we move from maybe this contracted isolation, quarantine state and begin to move back out into the world. It's good to take all the lessons and learnings from your reflection time and bring them out into the expansion. Just a tip. Okay, releasing down and back to hands and knees. Inhale to open through the front of the body. And exhale, press the earth away and rounding through the back. Inhale, let's go left leg back and opening through the front of the body. And exhale. So yes, you've got those two ends, the knee into the chest and the leg extended, and you're not rushing between the two, but rather savoring the journey. Enjoy the journey. With the next one, extend the right arm forward and exhaling back. In, coiling in, inhale. So again, not just the goal of expansion or contraction, but rather taking the entire journey in. Inhale and extend for a moment. Place the hand down, walk both hands across to the right side a little and stepping the left foot forward. And then working with your spine here. So inhale to expand across the collarbones. And exhale, rocking back, rounding through the spine. So you're not straightening the leg here. It's the left knee stays bent the whole time. Exhaling. And then with this next one, you can step forward. So stepping forward again into this chair pose shape. Inhale, even back bending a little here. And exhale, brush the elbows along the side waist. Inhale to expand, sink the hips down. And exhaling. We'll just take one more. Inhale to reach up. Find that fullness, not hurrying the breath at all, that savoring. Straighten the legs as you inhale and reach up, and exhale to fold forward and down. And inhale, lifting halfway up, then stepping yourself back. So we will come into just a bit of a pattern here, just so that you can tap into your own flow. So from down dog, inhale the right leg to the sky and exhale, stepping the right foot forward to the hands. Take the back knee down. And one breath here. Inhale smoothly, slowly, reaching that zenith, that height, and exhaling back down. Inhale back into your downward facing. And exhale, grounding the heels down. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. And exhale, stepping the foot forward, drop the back knee down. So we're just going to be continuing like this. Inhaling to reach up. Exhale, framing the front foot. So a slow, steady movement, just continuing on. So you exhale and ground the heels. Inhale. Right leg lifts. Exhaling to step forward. You could go with a high lunge now or stay with the low lunge. Inhaling. But again, you're reaching the heights and you're aware of the end points, but equally you're aware of the whole journey in between. And then left leg lifts. Exhale, forward. So high or low lunge, inhaling. And exhale. So we tend to savor the last mouthful of a dessert, but can you enjoy the entire dessert with such presence and such awareness? So one last time, inhale smoothly up. I hope you're tapping into your own rhythm here, your own pulse, because each of us breathe differently. When you're ready, left leg lifts. But you wouldn't want to rush. So I guess we at Being Yoga say the importance of moving slowly so that you can bring that full-bodied awareness. So pressing back into your downward facing when you get there. Travel forward into plank and press the earth away as you lower yourself down. Rise up into your Shalabhasana with palms facing down. And then plant the hands, taking the hands off the mat and tent the fingertips. Then have that same rippling, so chin into the chest and lifting towards a cobra if that's okay for you, and exhaling down. Inhale, aware of the whole ascent and that pause at the height, and exhaling slowly down, and maybe a little pause there. A couple more times, inhaling and exhale. And then from here, plant the hands, come back into your downward facing dog, and either stepping or hopping the feet forward, lift halfway up as you inhale, and exhale to fold yourself in. Come up through a spinal roll, inhaling all the way up to, again, reaching your highest, and then exhale, hands down through Namaste. Nice, all right. So let us then move through some standing poses, again with that pulse. So let's set up that pulse again. I go hands to the belly. You could go hands to the heart if you wanted to, but inhale and opening yourself out, expanding, and exhale, coiling in, even rounding through the back a little. Inhale, so you get that feeling of opening, that full expansion of summer, and exhaling to coil in, that comfy, cozy, curling up on a couch of winter. Inhale to expand, and exhale in. So then knowing that these experiences must happen, the expansion and contraction, it's the ebb and flow of life. But how can we bring the lessons of expansion into the shrinking of winter? How can we bring that comfy, cozy feeling of winter and bring it into summer? So I'm speaking of the seasons, but it has a much broader, larger understanding and meaning. I hope you get that. An economic winter or a social winter. Yes, I'm sure you do. You're smart cookies. All right, inhale and sweeping the arms up. With your exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale to lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhaling, let's take the right leg back to the back of the mat. Inhale and sweeping the arms up overhead. And with your exhale, bend the back knee and brush the elbows along the side waist and coil in. Inhale, so similar to what we did in chair pose, but now adding in the back leg. Back heel is lifted. Exhale and coiling in, so the spine is rounding. And inhale to find that expansion and opening and basking in that, but equally can you bask in the, and we all have favorites, so we all have a favorite season, but can you bring, wherever you bask, bring that into the other end of the spectrum, because both ends have to happen. Inhale to expand and open, And then exhaling and planting the hands down. Step yourself back and into plank pose, but have the feet wider than the hip width. Have them as wide as the mat. And then turning and dropping the right heels to the right and heels to the left. Dear. Come back through center and switching to the other side. I've got too many microphones on. I know that your hand just wants to lift, and you're probably wondering when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen on the next round. So for now, keep the hands grounded. Go back to your downward facing dog, and let's return to this rippling movement. Inhale. Let's inhale forward and exhale back. And go for this experience of freedom through the spine. You could do this on hands and knees. That would be totally fine. Then arrive in plank and lower yourself down. Again, tent the fingertips. Rise up into your cobra, maybe holding this time. If you were desperate for an up dog, you could do that. Making the practice your own. And then let's find our way back to downward facing dog. So I'm wanting to use the same leg. So let's take the left leg to the sky and draw the knee into the chest, rounding through the back. Inhale, stretching up to the sky. And twice more, exhale. So finding that the two poles, the opposite ends of extension and contraction, and the conscious traveling between the two. So touch the foot down now, in between the hands. And then let's rise up again. Inhale. So this time coming into a winged warrior shape, not rounding through the spine like we did last time, but keeping the spine long. And then transitioning forward, taking the right hand down and the left arm forward. Reaching, I'll move back a little. So reaching and extending here, and like we did on hands and knees, touch the knee and the elbow together. Inhale to expand, find that opening, and keep a thread of that expansion even as you go into the touching elbow and knee together. So there are benefits and blessings. There are lessons and learnings in every single phase. How can you make them all count? Inhale to expand. If you're able to, reaching back and catching hold of the foot with the opposite hand. Bend into your standing leg and then transitioning up into dancer pose. So stand down strong through the left leg. And then coming on up, releasing the foot down, inhale. Sweep the arms overhead and exhale to interlace the fingers behind the back of the body. Inhale to open here. And exhale, just drape the arms alongside the body. Bend the knees and coil in. Inhale, full expansion and opening, going into every part of the movement fully. Exhaling, noticing your tendencies to favor one or the other. One last time. And then standing, releasing and pausing in Tadasana. So this Tadasana is a possibility of neutral. Switzerland, think of it as Switzerland. So standing here, neutral territory. But at the same time, you can feel that soup of ingredients that we've awakened, and feel how that all merges together to create the most delicious flavor within you. All right, inhaling and sweeping the arms out and up. Exhale to fold forward and down. Inhale, lifting halfway up. And exhale the left leg back to the back of the mat. So you've got a nice long lunge. Keep the back heel lifted, crescent pose, inhaling and sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, bend the back knee and coil in, brushing the elbows along the side waist. Inhale into that expansion. Exhale to coil in. And just keeping going with this movement. And as you transition between expansion to contraction, it's that thread of awareness that is holding it all together, that is holding your entire experience. Inhale to sweep the arms up and exhale down, framing the front foot. Step yourself back and into plank pose. So this is where we'll start to lift the hands. So pivot the heels over to the right side. Bring this left hand down to brush over the thigh and sweeping up and over. And then switching over to the other side. Brushing the hand over the thigh and circling around. So you're finding like a water wheel movement. You're tracing these highs and lows, tracing the highs and lows, and being okay with the entire journey. All right, so from here you can plant the right hand when you're done, lowering down. Again, rise up into your cobra. And feel that this is the whole way the body is set up. So the expansion through the front body can only happen through the contraction in the back body. So your back muscles have to work and contract in order for the front body to expand. So it's a universal law that we are tapping into with the Vinyasa Yoga. All right, so rising back through a plank and into down dog. And again, we're working with the same legs. So stretch the right leg up to the sky and take 3 tiger curls, knee into the chest. Inhaling, expanding, and coiling. Not in any hurry. In fact, savoring the entire journey. Maybe the journey is all there is. Inhale and sweeping the arms up. And exhale, tip forward into a winged warrior. Inhale, sweeping up. And with the next one, we'll hold here. So between the crown and the back heel is one long line, and then launching yourself forward, coming into your Vira 3 position, and taking the left hand to the floor or using a block, stretch the right arm forward, and then pulsing and tap, elbow and knee. Inhale to find that expansion. Noticing how maybe your preferences for one or the other have perhaps blended a little. You're realizing that there are blessings and benefits in both ends. So you can reach back and catching hold, like the 2 sides of a one coin. Rise up into your dancer pose if you'd like to. And then making your way all the way up, touching down. Reach the hands to the sky and release the hands down back into Namaste. Again, just a little pause, letting all the snowflakes in the snow dome settle to create a clarity for you to recognize more. Recognize the fullness, the wholeness from these highs and lows, the inevitable aspect of life summer and winter, highs and lows, enjoying and savoring all aspects. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up, and exhaling to fold yourself forward and down. Inhale to lift yourself halfway up, and then planting the hands, you can press back into your downward facing dog. Bend the knees and take that same rippling movement, which you could do on hands and knees if you wanted to. And then one last time, as you come back, drop the knees to the floor and walk the hands forward into Anahatasana, melting the forehead down onto the earth, yet lifting through the armpits. You can then lift and slide the hands back, open your right arm like a great wing, let it open to the sky. And then exhale and threading through. Again, recognizing that same pulsation. This is the pulse, the rhythm of the universe. And when we move in this way, when we tap into this same pulse, then there's a rightness to the movement. So you can stretch your left arm forward and come into the twist. If you'd like to challenge your balance a little or stretch out more, you could extend that left leg back behind you as well and go into expansion through the left side and that contractedness through the right side, and being okay with both. Again, that becoming a skillful surfer. And then releasing down, slide the left hand back, reach the right arm up, press through the left hand, reaching all the way up and through the right hand, so you're in a kneeling position, and moving towards a half camel pose, if that's there for you. Otherwise, just staying with the hand on the hip. And again, just welcoming the expansion by feeling into the contraction on the other side, and that they're both supporting each other. Press the hips forward and windmill the arms over, pressing yourself back and into downward facing dog. If you'd like to, coming forward and again finding this cycling type movement through the arms, through the plank pose. And if you wanted to, you could add in, so kind of blending together the realities of this rippling dog and the side plank waving. But again, not being in any hurry with the movement. Goodness, I might be here all day. It feels so good. All right. Last one. And then go ahead and take the knees down so you're back into your tabletop position, and inhaling to float the left arm, and 3 times threading through. Exhale. Again, is it the breath creating the movement or the movement creating the breath? Is it they're so enmeshed with each other? Last one. And then from here, you can go ahead and take your right arm up, or reach it forward, sorry. And staying with that expression of opening out through the right side of the body, you might like to stretch the right leg back and go into that expansion. And releasing, lowering down, slide the right hand back. take your left arm up and press through the shins, hand onto the lower back as you reach back towards Ustrasana, maybe hand onto the heel. You could also tuck the toes so that you have a built-in block there if you wanted to. So making sure that the contraction on the back of the body is not compression. We're looking still for length through the back of the body as well, like a bamboo that is strong yet flexible. And then pressing through to inhale and come up. You can release and come down through center to Vajrasana. So let's step back into the same pulse, maybe lingering at the end points a little. And changing your attitude to one of being okay with both ends. Yes, we may have had that preference for expansion or contraction, but it's possible to experience both with the fullness of your being, knowing that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Everything is temporary. So you can pause, bring the hands onto the thighs. We will come around for, so coming around onto your back and lying down onto your back. Coming down onto your back, and once you're there, then bringing the knees into the chest. You can then release the feet down onto the floor and rise up into bridge pose. So inhaling, lifting into bridge, and exhaling, coiling in, even touching nose and knees together. So this same pulse, not just the end points that have punctuations like the solstice would in the year, not like the summer and winter solstice, but rather being aware of the full journey, the full spectrum of experience. So if you wanted to add something stronger now, rather than bridge, come out, open out into this. So a little bit of core work, exhaling, inhale and expanding. And one last time like that. Coming back around, you can release the feet to the floor. Rise up and let's hold bridge pose here. So interlacing the fingers behind the back of the body. If you would like to, you could take wheel pose here. So tucking the hands underneath the shoulders and then lifting up maybe to the crown and rising up. Completely optional. So finding your sweet spot, whatever that is. So you could imagine something that has this natural pulse and rhythm. Something that you can think of. Maybe it's the sun in the sky, the blazing sun of summer, the softer orb of winter. So you can come down now and turn this into a twist. Bring the hips over to one side and then the knees to the other side. Or maybe you can think of it like a good souffle, that there's this, that it moves from thickness to lightness. Switching to the other side if you haven't already. And then just taking a few moments in Shavasana. So Shavasana is really not something to skimp on, but rather you really want to allow, this is like leaving a curry for a day, and you know how it tastes so much better the next day. So it's time for all of the flavors to mingle and co-join into a new creation. So as you place yourself down into a moment of stillness for Shavasana, just take some time to run your awareness from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. From the tips of the toes to the top of the head. And we've got these two poles, the crown and the soles of the feet, but can you be aware of everything in between? This universal, whole, integrated experience of you. And as I mentioned in the practice, just take this time now, gathering all the resources, the rich lessons and learnings that you have experienced along the way. Maybe it's from this time in home retreat, forced home retreat that we've had. And what are the gifts? Just count your blessings here. What are the good things that have come? And how can you bring those into the expansion that is soon to come? Not forgetting all these gifts, but rather bringing them with you. The lessons, the learnings, the resources, strengths, talents you didn't know you had. How can you bring all of this? How can this experience make you a fuller, more integrated, bright being? And as you start to lengthen and deepen your breath and awaken your body, then bring all of this with you. The knowledge, the understanding, bring it all with you. The lessons, the learnings, as you come to sit up with a cheeky grin on your face, with a heart full to bursting. Gratitude for all the experiences. Namaste to you all. Thank you so